Hi, the kids. George?
Hi guys, my name is Marlene McCohen and I am here with Vinny, who's going to be the star of this story, and Picasso, my mustache parakeet, who, as you guys know, always lends a hand of support. Now, if you'll notice today, we have a new object in the background. For those of you who follow my videos regularly, especially Storytime Sunday, you know that Vinny wants to go in that closet, stick his head in, and chew all of the shoe boxes because he loves boxes. Don't you love boxes? Yes, you do. Yes. But he's terrified of ladders. So I put the ladder there just to deter him from going over there. You guys have seen lots of different things in the background, but he's been getting used to them all. But for some reason, in my closet today, I found this ladder and real quick decided to put it there. And he's very angry about it, actually. But we have to have Vinny here today because he is the star of this story, and this, guys, is one of my all-time favorite stories, so I think you guys are gonna really like it. There's a lot of characters in it, so pay very, very close attention. I'm not gonna change any names, so if you're in my story, you know you're a really good friend. So here's how it goes. A lot of you guys know that I'm in filmmaking. I make movies and I act in films, direct films. In fact, I have a movie out on Amazon Prime right now that I directed. So I'm very involved in that aspect of things. And a lot of times I partner with many different people to get a film done. So as you know, in film, there's a lot of people you have to work with. But in this particular story, I was partnering with one of my best friends, Edward, and he's my #1 film partner. Well, really, he's my main film partner. Well, Edward, he makes films in a very high production level. When we film with Edward, it's like there is somebody for everything, as it should be. But I'm talking about like huge, huge crew, great production value. And you'll see why this is important to the story in a second. So here's how the day was supposed to go. I was supposed to be downtown Los Angeles at about 6 o'clock to show up and film. And we were going to film, well, we did film in, you guys know my best friend Tracy, in her apartment building, because she lived in a gorgeous apartment building downtown Los Angeles. Now at the time, she was just living with her boyfriend, who she's now married to, Adam. But she was just dating him at that time. And he had said, oh, you're looking for a nice hallway? You can film in my hallway. And so we said, yeah, great. So we're all scheduled to go to his place downtown and film in his hallway. Well, wasn't there a major turn of events? Quite a few turn of events. Now, first you need to know, I was gonna go down there and be an actress. Tracy was out of town, so we were using her hallway with her future husband while she wasn't there. And usually she would be the one that is kind of like a production coordinator and has everything running smoothly. My sister was gonna come down. She's in the film, but wasn't in that scene. She was gonna come for moral support, and she was also coming to be the set photographer using my camera. And then my friend Ginny was coming down too. I don't know if Ginny was in that scene in that movie or if Ginny was coming down to help out as well. But basically, we were all scheduled to leave at around 5 o'clock. At around 4 o'clock, Edward was gonna swing by and pick up some very specific furniture from my house to put in the hallway and make it look really good down there. Well, enter Vinny. Vinny is flighted, as you guys know, and I was having a wonderful day, like such a wonderful Cinderella kind of moment. In that house, I had a backyard with a lemon tree. I'm obsessed with lemon. That's for another day. And I was just like sitting out. I felt so ready. I felt like I'm very prepared, got my lines, know the scene, know what everybody else should be doing. And then Vinny took flight. I don't know, guys, it's been a few years. I don't know why or how, or if I was sitting outside with him, or if he just like got out. I don't know what happened, but he flew, and I saw him fly, and I saw the direction he flew in, and I saw him kind of like landing, so I knew he must be in a neighbor's backyard, but I had no idea. I just started screaming and chased the direction he went in, and then obviously everyone in the house started running too to go see what they could do. Well, begin the search for Vinny. We're looking everywhere. We're knocking on every neighbor's door. I'm doing the math of where he could come. George is looking for him. Somehow, in the middle of all this, I don't know when this happened or if it was already happening. Jenna was on the phone to her boyfriend at the time. I know it seems like a lot of the stories revolve around Jenna and whatever boyfriend she has at the time. But she had felt like he wasn't making time for her. One of those guys that's like, oh, suddenly something came up with the guys, so I'm gonna go hang with them. And she didn't want to stand for it because she didn't see him often enough, because I think they had a long distance relationship at the time. So she was on the phone, and I think they were breaking up. Oh no, you're not going down there. There's a ladder there, you're supposed to be scared. So they're breaking up, and it seems like very normal, and she's on the phone and we're looking for the bird, and then suddenly it gets more and more serious. She's very upset, and she's like on the street, but sitting down, like talking, and then suddenly like crying, and she's very, very upset. And from what I understand, at that moment they break up. She gets up and starts looking for the bird. Then my friend Ginny comes over, and she is prepared to leave with us to go film, and she's looking for the bird. So it's me, Ginny, George, Jenna. We're all looking for the bird frantically. While we're looking for the bird, Edward drives by with a pickup truck to pick up the furniture with some of the crew. And he's like, what's the matter? Why are you all outside? I'm like, because my bird flew away. And I'm like crying, and he's like, what about filming? And I'm like, what about filming? Like, my bird flew away. And he goes, okay, try not to be there later than 7. Because remember, I was supposed to be there at 6. So of course I want to find this bird before I go, because he's my baby. And that's like my priority. I don't care about anything else. I don't care that there's 40 people somewhere waiting for me and they can't start the scene without me. Well, I do care, but I care more obviously about Vinny. So he drives by, he puts a little bit of pressure on me. I get very nervous, and then we go about looking for the bird, and we're looking and we're looking, and Jenna is very upset, and she's looking for the bird, and then she says to me, I don't think I can go. I can't go. Why don't I just stay here and look for Vinny? And I'm like, that's great, of course, stay, look for Vinny. She goes, I'll look for Vinny, and if it comes to the time that you have to go, just go. Then I get a call from Edward, and he calls me and he goes, listen, I know how important your bird is. Why don't you just come like at 8, get there when you can. We'll try to do everything that we can without you first. And I'm like, okay, thank you so much for understanding. So the plan now is that Jenna's not gonna come, she's gonna look for Vinny. So Jenna is very upset, and I go in the house really quick to start making calls, looking on Craigslist, everything. And she's going outside, she's on the phone, and she's walking around and around and around the neighborhood. And suddenly she calls me. And when she calls me, I know she found him. And she goes, Marla, you have to come here right now. I got Vinny, but I don't know if I can hold him. Come over. Because remember, Vinny is very aggressive to a lot of people, and back at the time, he was very aggressive. So she's holding him, not knowing if he's gonna bite her or not. So I come running down the street, and I'm like, Vinny, and he lifts his wings, and he's all excited, and he's like, you know how Vinny goes, he laughing, yeah, that's your part of the story. And she's holding him, and I go, what happened? She says, I was walking after we had checked every house, by the way, and knocked on every neighbor's door. She goes, I was walking and I'm on the phone and I'm looking out and suddenly I hear, hey, hey, hey. And I turn around and Vinny's talking and trying to get to me and he's just standing on somebody's fence. Now remember guys, this is Storytime Sunday. It has nothing to do with what you should do or shouldn't do. Watch my other videos for that. But there's Vinny standing on a fence. My sister picks him up, right, and brings him home, and I'm so happy we can all go film. Well, now Jenna has no excuse to stay. She's still very upset about the breakup, which we think is what's happening, and we don't know how everything's gonna go yet. Well, this is what happens. All four of us get in the car. George is driving. I'm the passenger in front. Ginny is in the back, and my sister is in the back. Now, I need to tell you something about Ginny. Ginny is the cutest person. She's as passionate about cats as I am about birds. So not relevant, but I'm just trying to paint her character for you. But Ginny is very quiet, okay? Like, she might not talk to you unless you actually start a conversation with her about something that she actually knows about or is interested in, but she's got the sweetest heart and she doesn't mind talking to anybody. But like literally, I could be on the phone with her, dead silence for like a minute, or I could have an amazing conversation with her, but people know her as very quiet. Cause like at a dinner party, she's just gonna like sit there and not really say anything unless you say anything to her. So backstory, we're all in the car and Ginny had been dating somebody, and the last I heard before all the drama with the bird was that she hadn't seen him in about 2 weeks. So when I said, what's going on with you and whatever the guy's name was, she's like, I don't know, I haven't really seen him in 2 weeks. That's the last of the information that I had from Ginny. So, cut back to, we are all in the car. Now, George is kind of like a foreign taxi driver, especially at those times. He had like this Infinity and he would drive around like Infinity drivers do, or crazy drivers. Really good driver, but like would scare the living daylights out of you if you were in the car. Everybody has a driving with George story. And he's never had a fender bender or an accident or anything. He's a good driver. It's just like you feel like, oh my God, am I gonna make it through this? So we're late. We're all very late, right? So we're nervous because there's like 30 or 40 people waiting for us. But George decides to take this way that I always believe is actually the longer way. But because like if there was no traffic, it could be the shortcut because you're avoiding things. It was like really the longer way, but could be shorter. But at this time, it was not going to be shorter. So I was just pissed. I'm like in the passenger seat, like, you're going the wrong way. I told you never to take this way. Well, suddenly we start getting calls from Edward, and Edward calls me and he goes, you need to get here right away. You need to get here right away. I'm like, I am, we're in the car. He's like, how far are you? I'm like, we're like, 20 minutes away. We're like 30 minutes away, or I don't know how far we are depending on how long this long way is taking. And we have to go all the way downtown. Well, I'm like, what's the matter? He's like, Adam, that's Tracy's husband, Adam said we could film here and now he's freaking out and he doesn't want us filming here and I have the whole crew here and I don't know what to do. And I'm like, oh my God, what do you mean we can't film? Doesn't he understand that this is a large production? You can't just send a large production home. I call Tracy and Tracy's on the phone and I'm like, Tracy, you need to call your pansy boyfriend. Why is he panicking? He said we could film there and now we can't. She's like, what? What do you mean? Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Let me call him. I'll call you back. So she calls him and I don't know what's going on. And then Edward calls and he's like, where are you? Where are you? What's going on? You need to come talk to this guy. I'm like, I'm on my way. I'm on my way. So suddenly, Jenna's in the back talking to Ginny about the breakup. And Jenna's like very upset and she starts crying and I'm screaming at George. I'm like, you're going the wrong way. Edward wants us to get there. He's like, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? And then Tracy calls back and she's like, he said that the production is like a very serious production and Adam is really nervous that we're gonna get kicked out of the building. I'm like, it doesn't matter, we'll film until we get kicked out of the building. Like, what is he talking about? And Tracy's like, he said that there's like really big cameras there and like he didn't expect it to be like that. I'm like, what did he expect it to be like? And she's like, I don't know, I'm sorry, he's such a pansy. And this is where it became that we always call him Pansy, right? Because he like panicked and it's like, dude, just chill out. We're just gonna go there, film and like leave, right? And so she's calling him and then Edward's calling me and I say, Edward, don't go up there. Okay, like just stay down there until I get there. He's like, I am, we're all downstairs. I've got 40 people downstairs in the basement waiting for you. So I'm getting very nervous because I don't like anyone on edge. So then I go, I'm sorry, Tracy, I'm trying to deal with this, but Jenna just broke up with her boyfriend. And she's like, what? Jenna broke up with him? And she starts crying. She's on speaker, she's like, oh my God, I'm so sad for Jenna. This is so sad. And then Jenna starts crying and then George goes, well, whatever. She hasn't seen him in 2 weeks. Like he should make time to see her. What kind of guy is that? And he's like really like going like on the guy. And then suddenly Ginny goes, I haven't seen my guy in 2 weeks. Does that mean we're broken up? And I'm like, yeah, I think it does. So then they're both crying in the back, right? Meanwhile, I'm like, George, go this way, go that way, you're going the wrong way. And he's like, calm down. You need to know that we're gonna get there. And he's like, everybody can wait. I'm like, no, they can't, there's a whole production. And then Ginny's crying and Tracy's crying on speaker. And I'm like, Tracy, calm down. Call Adam and get him calm. Call Adam. And she's like, okay, I'm just so sad for Jenna. She hangs up. And then I go, oh my God, I have the best idea. I go, Jenna, you know, Adam is really sympathetic. This is what we're gonna do. Once we get there, you're gonna go up to Adam and you're gonna start crying and say, he broke up with me, because Adam didn't see potential with her and this guy anyway. You take Adam into the room, let him console you and talk about it. Because of course, also he wants to show to Tracy that he's like a really good with the friends. She goes, okay, I'll do that. And then Ginny, I'm like, I'm sorry about your boyfriend. We're gonna have to talk about this later. And George is like, of course, if you don't see someone in 2 weeks and they don't make time to see you and you're not their priority, they're not fitting you into their life. I don't care how busy they are. So, long story short, all the drama in the car, we arrive and I go, Jenna, go upstairs. And she goes up and she takes Adam and suddenly he's in the room with her, like, just like consoling her. And I'm like, guys, go, crew, go. And the crew starts like, starts filling out the place and Adam goes, you don't understand. Adam's Israeli. He goes, you don't understand. They were pulling the light fixtures out and they were changing things and I got really scared. And then I called Tracy and Tracy says, yeah, guess what he said to me? He goes, Mommy, they have Sky microphones, like talking about like the boom mic, like, and she goes, babe, what did you think they were filming? He goes, I don't know, I thought they were gonna bring an iPhone and film or something. I thought it was gonna be okay, and then this big professional crew came. So Jenna's in there, like keeping him busy, and they're setting up the camera, and we're filming on the red, right? And if you see the red set up, it's like this big of a camera, and I'm like terrified for him to see it, because now everything's kind of cool. Now you have to know something about Adam. He's a great host, and he's a great cook, but he had some friends over. So what happened was, he had all these friends over, and they were sitting on like his patio, and I kind of realized what the thing was. At the time, he was a smoker, and Tracy knows I didn't condone that kind of stuff. So I'm not for or against it, but just like in my circle, like I don't smoke. And so I think he was like afraid for me to find out and then realize we were gonna be there longer. So I pull out this camera and it's like this big, and I'm looking at him and he's looking at me and he goes, Marla, you think I can smoke now? I go, go, do whatever you gotta do. I don't care, we gotta film this movie. So once they all chilled out, him and his friends, he started making teas for the crew and cakes for the crew and food for the crew. He was so excited. and chill. And the last thing I remember that was funny about this, I shouldn't say this. Guys, listen, this is gonna make one thing look like one way, but it's not, because again, I don't smoke. That's probably why I think this is so funny. But they needed to do what they needed to do out on the patio to chill out and like not be nervous and ignore us. And then Edward comes, and Edward comes out and he's a mature man and he goes, wow, there is more pot on this set than I've ever seen. And I'm like, I know. But he was just happy that we got to, you know, film and be done with it. And by the way, that last statement didn't pertain to the actors or anybody like that. And again, with me saying that, not for or against, I don't care what anybody else does. I'm just not a smoker or anything like that. So that's why it's extra funny to me. But yes, so whatever anyone wants to do in their free time, totally cool with me. I'll be friends with anybody, but that's what the funniness of the story was. And so Vinny started all that drama. And even though it ended with Vinny way before, I had to tell you guys the whole story because it's like the funniest story to me. I don't know why I love this story. Until this day, we always call Adam a pansy. I always quote that moment with Edward, and he always says that too. He goes, wasn't that funny how that ended up? And the hallway scene looked great. I think I even have a picture on my Instagram of me in the hallway in a red dress and a gun and a shadow, because Edward films film noir. So it was really beautiful. And that is the story. So thank you guys for listening. I hope you enjoyed that story, and I hope you enjoyed all of the characters. How it turned out, Ginny's not with that guy, Jenna's not with that guy. Oh, but if you are following Jenna on Snapchat, her new boyfriend and Jersey are getting along. So that's really cute. He was cuddling her and stuff. So you can check that out on Snapchat. I don't know how long that stuff lasts. Maybe it's gone already, but maybe there'll be more because we're all gonna be hanging out. So that is it, guys. Follow me on Instagram at Marlene McCohen, and please subscribe. We love subscribers. I love you bird guys. And come to Parrot Station on Facebook. I think we have quite a few, I don't know, we might have 5,000 members right now. That means, guys, I'm looking at your birds all day long. Your birds are so amazing. Vinny is on my shoe. Let's see if you can see this. Vinny, there he goes. Yeah, why don't you show them before we leave what you're gonna do? If he goes near that ladder, can you guys see him? There he is. Anyway, I'm gonna go babysit my babies because I love them so much. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye.